G'day everyone, John from Ruralco Water here with your weekly Southern Basin market update. Well, we'll kick off this week with a bit of word about storages. As we know, this year has been pretty dry, especially since Christmas, across the Southern Basin, and we've seen that reflected in storages. Total Southern Basin storage is down to 51% at the moment, compared to 77% this time last year. And just the headline ones there, right? Hume is at 23, compared to 62% last year. Eildon's down to 62 compared to 92%. Dartmouth is still pretty full at 78%, but it is down from 94%. In the Bidgie, Burrinjuck is down to 44 compared to 35% this time last year. And Blowering's at 32% compared to 65%. Now Menindee Lakes, they're down to 30%, but there is a significant inflow expected, somewhere between 600 and 1,000 gig to flow into Menindee that will bring those storages back up, if it's 1,000 gig, to around 90%. Well, the dry conditions have continued in the Southern Basin, and we've seen that have a big impact in temporary allocation markets in the last week or so. There was a big surge in the market last week with prices pushing towards $280 in the Southern Basin. Now it's calmed down a little bit. And what we're seeing at the moment is below choke in the Murray, so in zone 7, 11 and SA. That market's around 250 to 260. In the Murray and Bidgie, it's around 245 to 255. In the Goulburn, it's 115 to 120, and above the choke there in zone 6 and zone 10, it's around that $110 to $120 mark. Don't forget, the big thing that's going to influence the markets over the next week is New South Wales Interstate trade closing on the 30th of April. This will mean that water that's in New South Wales won't be able to be traded out into high demand markets in Victoria and SA. With the outlook, so New South Wales and Vic have given some outlook updates in the last week, and they're both looking dry in the next year, and that means very low general security allocations to start the year, and further updates will be available on the 15th of May, particularly for Victoria and SA. Well, with next year in mind, there's a lot of focus on forwards and carryover at the moment, and there's high demand for forwards. But that uncertainty that we're seeing in the market, in the temporary market at the moment, has pushed those prices towards $300 in the Bidgie and in below choke regions. For carryover, parking on high in Victoria is around, in the Goulburn is around, and in the Murray is around $10 to $12 a meg. Vic low is around $100 or maybe even a little bit softer in zone 7. Goulburn low and zone 6 low is at around $50 a meg. Murray and Bidgie general security carryover space is around 100 and zone 10 is around $70. In the permanent market, it's been a pretty steady week there. We're seeing Vic high reliability depending on parcel size and whether it's wet or dry, so whether it still has the allocation. Trading for $69.50 to $72.50. Low is 1900 to 2200. SA is 72 to 73.50 and Goulburn high is 35 to 3600, and there isn't a lot of buy demand in that market. Well, the last one, Commonwealth update, the federal election is on, the government are in caretaker mode, so there's no real decision making happening in that tender or buyback space. There is still some AWEP purchases processing, but that's about it. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week.